Hey everybody, welcome back to my chatty, sassy channel here on YouTube where we are talking about all things luxury, be it luxury travel, luxury fashion, or life's luxuries in general. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. And today we are definitely going to be getting chatty, we are definitely going to be getting sassy, and hopefully it'll all come together through the magic of video editing. Now, there's been a lot going on involving quality and what luxury is and what we expect from luxury houses in the past couple of months. You have the Dior scandal, and Amelia Rose did a video on that. I believe Dale from Dale's Addiction did a video on that. You have the fact that a lot of luxury brands have done a lot of price increases over the past few years. I mean, we're talking about Chanel, we're talking about Louis Vuitton. You've got brands that we don't even know why they're still considered luxury, like Balenciaga. That whole scandal came out and tarnished what a luxury brand should be doing. And so you have all of this, and I thought that I would add my take on the conversation. What have I experienced? What about the quality that we expect from these brands? Have I gotten to see that? Have I been let down by brands who are esteemed for their quality? What about the customer service? Do these brands really provide a luxury experience when you are there in the store? What about when you're trying to shop online? Is it a luxury experience when you order these things and they come in? I'm gonna be getting into all of this today, and I have a couple of videos I'm gonna link down below. Cassie Thorpe has done a video recently. Like I said, I think Amelia's done a video recently. You've got Connor, who did his unhinged video. Mine's gonna be a little bit unhinged today, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm ranting about some things that are really bothering me that I think that everybody needs to know about. There are things that have made me stop shopping at brands that I haven't really talked about that I feel should be shared on this channel, and this is the video where we are getting all of that out there, you guys. So with that, let's jump right into it. So first and foremost, I have not talked about this yet at all on my channel, in part because I'm wanting to see how things shake out, but we expect a high standard of production from our luxury brands. And I'm going to just address the alleged Dior issues with their factories that were making products for their subsidiary that have been hit with sanctions from Italy and the European Union and all that. That's not luxury. I want to know that artisans are making my product, not machines. I want to know those artisans are being treated with the respect that they deserve, and they're being paid what they deserve to at least somewhat justify the absurdly huge prices that we are paying for these bags. Because let's be honest, they aren't worth it. None of us ever thought that a $2,500 bag was actually worth $2,500. At least I certainly hope not. But we were paying for the brand and what the brand represented. When the brand shows that they don't actually care about that quality, you've got Chanel raising prices, no longer doing 24 karat gold hardware. We are constantly seeing wonky flaps. You have this scandal with Dior when they're putting out these videos talking about their craftsmanship, and it's like, well, but that's not what the news is reporting is your actual craftsmanship. Makes me not want to buy. When you have brands that lack integrity in the way that Balenciaga showed that they did with their campaign scandal, with there being no real change within the company, I don't want to buy from a brand like that. Because the reality is we are walking around with these logos on us. We are walking around with the Louis Vuitton monogram. We are walking around with the Hermes H. We're walking around with the Chanel CC. We are walking around with the Fendi FF. We are walking around with iconic pieces. And by wearing those iconic pieces, by using those iconic pieces, we are saying that we see value in that. And I don't want to advertise or feel like a billboard for someone who I don't like. I don't want to feel like a billboard in general. It's why I really don't wear Louis Vuitton monogram anymore. It's why I really go for more quiet luxury, is because I don't want to feel like a billboard. But that being said, if I'm gonna feel like a billboard, I want to feel like I'm a billboard for a good company. I want to feel like I'm a billboard for a company that represents good products. Like when I wear my Strathberry stuff, I love getting to talk to people about that brand because I know that they have quality artisans. I know they're doing a good job. They're fairly priced for the quality of luxury leather goods that they are. I feel good repping that brand. When I carry my YSL stuff, same thing. I know that they are doing quality things. These sweaters that they're making are handmade by each artisan to a form, not to a pattern. So when you get a cashmere sweater from YSL, it's going to have some slight variations in it based on who made it. And I love that. I love that individuality. I love with Hermes on how the bags, they aren't gonna have totally perfect stitching because it's not made by a machine that's able to do that. It's made by a person. And you're making that bag start to finish. Well, you're not making it, but the artisan is making that bag start to finish for you. That means something. But the other thing that comes with that, with the brand, is that we're saying that this is a quality piece, that it is so quality that it is worth the huge markup in price. And I've had some quality issues that made me reconsider some brands that I never thought I would have to worry about quality issues with. Let's start out with Louis Vuitton. So first off, Louis Vuitton, I've had glazing melt off my strap. I don't know if you'll be able to tell it or not on here, if the camera will be able to show it and pick it up, but the glazing is melted all along here. It is still sticky. It is unusable. It rubs off on clothing. The day that it actually melted on me when I was out shopping, it ruined the shirt that I was wearing because the glazing melted onto the shirt and adheres to the shirt. I can't get it out of that shirt. I shouldn't have to worry about that with Louis Vuitton. So I had to order a new strap. They wouldn't replace the strap because they're like, oh, well, it melted and we aren't aware of any quality issues. And it's like, you know you've had glazing quality issues. You've recalled multiple items because of glazing quality issues. Apparently that didn't matter with the strap. My very expensive trunk that I have hidden behind here, behind all these boxes. All the hardware on it, tarnished. All the hardware came super tarnished. And I actually took it back to the store, and bless Jordan, the manager's heart, he spent hours polishing this thing to make it shiny and look like new. And it did very briefly, and then it tarnished again. I paid $5,800 for a box that's hardware has tarnished. That came tarnished. I was not very happy, but it was my box and it had been painted, and so nothing that I could do about it. And I'm going to keep my box, but it makes me kind of mad. And so having the tarnished hardware on top of my strap melting, I will not be buying from Louis Vuitton. I think that it is very unlikely that you will see me buy anything from Louis Vuitton probably ever again. I might buy an Alma PM in Paris. I have no plans to go to Paris right now, but one day when I go to Paris, I could see myself at the flagship store buying that one item. But I could also see myself just going for a vintage one from the year of my birth. I just don't know if I can buy new from Louis Vuitton anymore. You've got Hermes, who is renowned for their quality. And I'm always gonna be upfront and honest with you guys. I bought the Hermes Avalon Throw. I loved my Hermes Avalon Throw. I said that it was one of my best purchases of 2022. I was looking at getting Hermes cashmere pillow to go with it, to sit behind me in this chair. And as I was refolding this blanket on a new chair, the chair that I'm currently sitting in, not the chair that I used to film in, I noticed something disturbing. There was a hole. In my very expensive cashmere blanket, there was a hole. A blanket that's never used, never touched, that I wouldn't even lean back against because I didn't want to risk picking it. Hole. Then I started looking. There are more holes. I'm hoping this will show up on camera. There are more holes. Like you can see a hole there. There's another hole here. There are holes all along this blanket. Here at the stitching, holes along the stitching. Guys, this blanket isn't used. It wasn't ever used and it has holes in it. And when I took it into Hermes, my SA was not there. I do not believe that my SA would have treated me this way. But the SA who I came in and I was like, hey, like, is Sabrina in? Like, I'd text her about this issue, but like, I'm only here today. Like, can we get this sent off to get repaired? And the woman first off said, well, it looks to me like you have a cat and your cat's just clawed it. I don't have a cat. And at the time, I only had one dog, and that dog never got in my chair, never touched my chair, never touched this blanket. Hermes concluded that it must have been moths that ate it because their blanket couldn't develop holes due to poor quality cashmere. And it's like, well, nothing else in this house has moths eating it. It's living beside a cedar chest. Like, it doesn't have moths. There are no moths in my house. I would have seen moths if there were moths in my house, and I would have been panicking to get them out. So my Hermes blanket went off to Paris in December. That's why you haven't seen it behind me in any videos. It went off to Paris in December. I had no communication. I had zero. And finally, when I went in April, when I was down at Hermes, I said, what is going on with my blanket? Like, I haven't seen anything. I called in March because I hadn't heard anything, and they said that it would be back by March. It wasn't back by March. I called like, hey, have I missed an email where they're asking me to pay for something? No, they had no information. Come when I was down in April in Orlando at Hermes, and she said, oh, well, she said, my manager was actually talking to me about this blanket today, and he said it's on the way back to us. They couldn't do anything because there were moths, and they'd sent it to several of their experts who all said that nothing could be done. There were, I'm not kidding, 12 holes in my Hermes blanket. I nearly cried. Like, when I realized there was one hole, I panicked. When I saw that there was two, I was distraught. The time that I found 12 holes, I'm not kidding, I was crying. And my husband's like, what is wrong? And granted, there were other things going on at the time that is probably why I was emotional and crying. But he's like, what is wrong? What has happened? Are you okay? And I was like, no, there are holes all in my blanket and my blanket's ruined and I haven't even used it. And I was so upset. But honestly, like, the lack of communication during that whole process, the fact that it came back, arrived in May, they would not ship it to me. Yeah, I had to come to the store to get it, so I came in July to get it because they wouldn't ship it. If they shipped it, I would have to sign away all liability of anything happening to this blanket in transit. Like, if it got lost, I was just out of luck. I couldn't do anything against whoever they were using to deliver. I couldn't hold them responsible for the blanket getting lost. It was going to have to be like escalated to like a regional manager to get it sent to me. Like, there were going to be like 4 or 5 different levels that I was going to have to go to get it shipped back to me. And I was going in July, so I was like, you know what, at this point, whatever. But like, my blanket was missing from me from 7 months, and they couldn't even do anything. And all that I got was a, too bad, I'm sorry. Well, actually, my SA, which must try that, she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, she's like, I have no information other than this. She's like, I am so sorry. And like, I get that she feels sorry. She's a very, very nice person. She's a lovely, lovely SA. But I was frustrated there, Hermes. One, couldn't do anything, and then didn't offer to do anything to make me happy in some way. Didn't offer to, like, even if it just been a small, like, hey, here's a small little gift from us. Like, it could have been, like, a lipstick or a perfume or something like that. And, like, that would have just made me feel like, hey, look, at least they care. So that's touching a little bit on quality on the bad side. What about on the good side? Are there brands that do it well? Well, I think that there are. Let's start with YSL. So when I went to the YSL dinner event, and I think it was November. Does that sound right to you guys? Was it November, December? Maybe that was February. Was it February? Anyway, the last collection event that I went to, which now I think was in February, I bought a silk top. I also bought a black tank top. Now, a couple of weeks after getting this tank top, I went to wear it again, and I noticed there was a hole. There was a hole in the binding where, like, the binding, like, neck seam attached to the tank top. And I texted my wonderful SA Sam, who is just the nicest person ever. And I said, Sam, like, I know, like, I've already worn this a couple of times, like, but I just noticed that there's a hole in it. Who do you recommend tailor-wise in Nashville that I could take this to and they could fix it? Because it looks like the fabric just didn't catch in the stitch. And he was like, oh, he's like, that should never happen. He's like, I don't care if you've worn that 50 times. He's like, that shouldn't be happening. He's like, bring it back. He's like, the next time that you're in, he's like, I'll go ahead and ship you the new one. Unless he said, you're going to be in this weekend and you just want to pick it up anyway. And I was like, actually, I am going to be in this weekend. And so we just swapped it out. He got me a new one. He had my size there for me. I was able to walk out with my brand new tank top that had no issues. No questions asked. Like I said, I wore it out of the store. Like, they saw me wear it. And this is clothing. Like, they could easily say, oh, like, you maybe did that. Maybe your dog did it when you got home and she was all happy and excited to see you. There was no question over if it was my fault or not. They replaced it. You've got David Yurman, who, amazing, amazing brand, and I love them. I've had some issues that popped up with jewelry. So one of my favorite rings, let me pull it out. So this was my mother-in-law's ring. And this gold band had somehow come unattached. I don't know how, it just did. And I went to wear it for the first time and it came loose and I just went, it's my mother-in-law's ring that I inherited, like, and the first time that I go to wear it, something's wrong. I was just in absolute horror. But took it in, they said, oh yeah, that shouldn't be happening at all. Let's take it back, like, we'll fix it. Somehow it just hadn't been bonded correctly, and so they fixed it, no problem, no questions asked. My husband, his necklace, the clasp, he takes it on and off every single day instead of just slipping it over his head like he really should. But he'd worn out the clasp from wearing it for years and years. That he wears every single day, taking it on and off every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and he'd worn out the clasp. They replaced it. No charge, because they said, oh yeah, like, this shouldn't break, we'll fix it. That's service. That's standing by your product. That's how luxury should be. Luxury should be dependable. It should be something that you don't have any care in the world about, that you are able to use, but then the company stands by. And, like, we didn't expect them to fix these things that we've used every single day, and yet they did. They didn't ask us questions, they did it. Another brand, they aren't luxury, they're a contemporary brand, they're a brand that I really love, that I sort of want to talk about for customer service, to show that, like, it doesn't even have to be a luxury brand to do customer service right. Sunski sunglasses. I love my Sunski sunglasses. I have their blue light glasses. I got their blue light glasses when they came out. Due to my entire fault, I crushed a pair of the sunglasses coming home from New York. I had so much stuff shoved in the bag, and, like, I had, like, dropped stuff on it. I dropped the bag. At some point there was a crack that formed in the frame. I was kind of messing around with it and the frame just totally broke. They replaced it for free. And in fact, they didn't just replace it once. They gave me a $75 credit. I was able to get 2 pairs of the blue light glasses for my one broken pair. And I even told them, I was like, hey, like, this is totally my fault. I was just wondering if there's anything that can be done to fix them. Or I said, I'm not seeing my pair on the website. I was wondering if maybe there happens to be a spare pair laying around. There were. And they took care of it. They took care of me as the customer. They stood by their product. And they'll do that for anybody. I know another person who had a issue where he ran over his sunglasses with his car. They replaced his sunglasses that he'd run over with his car. That's luxury. That's the customer service that we're looking for. Not Tiffany tarnishing and constantly needing to be sent to New York for polishing. Not Hermes getting holes in it. Not Louis Vuitton stuff melting. But things breaking and you fixing them. Things not being made properly and you replacing them. That's what I look for. Now, let's be honest here. When we're luxury shopping, we're also shopping for the experience. For the special feeling that you get trying on these beautiful things, trying on beautiful bags, waltzing around in shoes, strutting around the store in clothing, the way that you, the comfortable seats that you're in, the way that the sales associates bring stuff to you. We like that. It makes us feel special. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's part of the store design, to bring you in, is to make you feel special. And there are some places that do that wonderfully. There are other places, not so much. So let's talk about the good ones first. In this case, let's talk about the good ones first. Who does it really well? Ferrari. Ferrari does it really well. I have not bought much from Ferrari. I'm still invited to these events. When I go into the store, it's fun. It's a cool store. It's a little weird, but it's pretty cool. Things are out, you're able to see them, everything's well displayed, nothing's overcrowded. The decor is very Ferrari. You've got all these different cool memorabilia things from the cars. This that I'm holding in my hand is a thank you note that I received from the SA for purchasing my latest unboxing and coming by the event. She hand wrote a note and sent in the stuff that she mailed to me. I mean, that's thought. We've got YSL, who I get to go to events for. We've got David Yurman, who we get special product offerings for, who they reserve things for us. Like at the holidays when the gifts are coming in, they reserve things for us to make sure that we're able to get those. Like the playing card that I have from David Yurman, that was set aside specially for us, is one of his allocations that he gets for his customers. That's taken care, it's feeling taken care of. It's being taken care of. When you go into a store, you want to feel good when you're in that store. Louis Vuitton, it's been hit or miss. When they feel like I'm interested in the exotics or I'm interested in more expensive pieces, they're real gung-ho, they're real nice. When I come in athletic wear because I've been running around somewhere like at the zoo and I'm just popping in because I want to see something really quick, I've had people who've treated me like I'm not good enough for Louis Vuitton, because I just didn't happen to be wearing anything Louis Vuitton. The next time I come in, after she found out that I'd done a custom trunk, all of a sudden that same SA was way nicer, trying to steal me away from my SA. Luxury shouldn't be when I walk into Chanel and people are snooty, when I feel like a bother asking to see things. It shouldn't be like when that one Hermes SA immediately starts accusing me of things when she had never met me. She had no idea who I was, why I was in there, but she was immediately hostile and rude. It's things like that that turn people off luxury. It's when they buy something and they don't necessarily get nice things, like Goyard. I love Goyard. I think that's a very timeless brand. But when you have tote bags that don't hold up over time with a laptop, that come with plastic sleeves wrapped around their handles, that's not luxurious. When you go with a store like Givenchy and nothing comes in a garment bag, nothing comes in a box, like I have a scarf, no box. I've got a t-shirt, no bag, no box, no nothing. That's not luxurious. When I walk in to J. Crew, I don't expect my items to be boxed up because I'm not paying that level of money. When I walk into other stores like Givenchy, I expect a little more. I want a little more than J. Crew because I'm paying a lot more than J. Crew. I want more. When I go into a store like Gucci and they don't even bother to spend time naming their bags, so when I say, oh hey, I want to see this bag, and it could be like 10 different bags, or I go into Prada and I'm like, hey, I'm wanting to see this style bag. Again, it could be like 10 different styles of bag. That's not fun. I don't want to have to like go on a treasure hunt with an SA for a regular item. I don't want to do that. I want to walk in and I want to say, here's the Victoria bag. I want to see the Amelia bag. I want to see the Connor bag. I want to see the Meredith bag. I want to see the Cassie bag. Like, I want to walk in and be able to do that, and the bags be differentiated enough that they know what I'm talking about. I want to say, I would like to see the shoulder bag. 20 shoulder bags. I want to see the Gucci Ophidia shoulder bag. 20 shoulder bags. So many different things. I don't want that. I want real names. I expect real names for products. These are high-end products. Take the time to put a name on them. And also, take the time to make sure that your staff knows their stock. I should not be going into a store and I should not be knowing vastly more than the SA about your product stock that I've spent 15 minutes searching online. I shouldn't know that, hey, that's not the name of the bag that you're calling it. That's bag ABC, not bag DEF. Like, know the names of your products that you're trying to sell people. I shouldn't know the name. And like, again, if it's a brand new release, maybe you haven't learned the name yet. But bag styles that have been out for a while, you should be familiar enough with that I'm not like, actually, that's not what that bag is. Or actually, no, there's a different bag that I'm referring to that you seem to have no idea even exist. You should know your stock. Now, there are times where like I'll go in and I'll be describing something to Sam and he's like, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. And like, I'm giving real off the wall descriptions. It's like, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. And like, he'll go into the bag and he'll pull it. And there'll be times where I'm like, oh yeah, this bag that I tried on 6 months ago, you know, since you've seen like thousands of other people since then, do you happen to still like remember what that bag was called? And like, he'll know it off the top of his head. That's kind of what I expect. I'm coming to you because you are to be the expert in your thing, in your store, in your brand. I'm coming to you as the expert. I should not know more than you. I don't want to know more than you. I want to learn. I want to be taught, and I want to be taught correctly. I do not want to be taught incorrectly. Just personal pet peeve. Know your products. Shouldn't be overly difficult. Know your products. So what do I think that luxury is today, and how does that guide what I'm purchasing? Well, my good experiences, my Saint Laurent, my Ferrari, I'm gonna spend a lot more money there. My David Yurman, I'm gonna spend a lot more money there. I'm gonna focus my money there. Louis Vuitton? Tiffany? Nah, I don't want any more turning jewelry. When I look at Hermes, makes me hesitate. I want that Birkin. Got some shoes that I'd like. Got a little china maybe that I'd like. Not buying another cashmere piece. Be it ready to wear or pillows. And I really wanted a pillow. I really wanted a pillow. I still kind of want a pillow. But I'm too scared to buy it after what happened to my blanket. I shouldn't be being turned off of a brand by the quality of their products when they're known for the quality of their products. Is this too much to ask? I don't think so. Brands that have scandals, brands like Dior. I'm not buying Dior right now. Brands like Balenciaga, I am never buying Balenciaga as long as Demna's creative director, I'm not buying Balenciaga. As long as he's affiliated, I'm not buying it. I don't want that. That's not what I'm paying money for. And I think it's important that we put our money where our mouth is. If I don't like the way that the brand is going, I don't care how much I like the item, I'm not going to be buying it. When I look at brands that I don't feel are worth the money, I'm not going to put my money there. And I think that that's kind of what I'm trying to get out with this video, is that if you don't feel valued by a brand, if you don't feel like a brand takes care of you, if you don't feel like a brand's quality measures up to what you think it should be measuring up to, particularly for the cost, don't buy it. Don't spend your money there. There's so many other options. There are luxury options, there are contemporary options, there are designer options that are good, that are great, that are worth it, and you can feel really proud of when you wear. And so with that, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Next up should be New York content, or it'll be Ferrari content. I'm not sure how I'm gonna edit these videos, but make sure to be subscribed because there is some really special things that are coming up on this channel. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about, put it down in the comments below because I would love to interact and to make videos on things that you guys are really interested in and want to see. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye.